Hi everyone, I'm Izza, aka EvilCleverDog, and welcome to my channel. Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, is my favourite superhero, and I love to cosplay her, as you may be able to tell. And the number one question I get asked about this costume is about the mask. How do I make the mask, how do I stick it to my face and have it stay there for the whole day of a hot and sweaty convention? It just so happens that the mould I was casting these masks from is getting pretty worse for wear and I need to make a new one. So I thought I would make a video showing all of you how to make your own self-adhering superhero masks. It's not only Miss Marvel, but a lot of comic characters like Green Lantern, Harley Quinn and Robin that wear masks like these. So this is a really useful skill for cosplayers to have. It's also a very good beginner's mould making project because it only requires a 1-part mould and a small quantity of materials like plaster, clay and latex to make it. So let's get started. This is the old mould I was casting masks from. I made it last year and I've cast from it so many times that it's looking pretty worse for wear, with a lot of chips, pock marks and dried residual clay from plugging them up. In order to make a new mould, first I need to sculpt a new mask master. I need a face cast to sculpt the mask onto. One of my own face would be ideal, but I don't currently have one, so I'm going to use this one I made for a film a few years ago. If you don't have a face cast, you could use a sturdy shop-bought mask, but it most likely won't be proportional to a real human face and you'll have to do a bit of extra sculpting to accommodate. This is the face cast I used to sculpt my original mask onto, so you can see where I drew the outline for that. I'm going to use the same outline again because I'm happy with it. When I'm doing mold making projects, I tape some large bin bags down onto my table. Mold making and sculpting can be extremely messy, so this avoids messing up my table permanently. Once I'm all set up with my face cast, clay, water and sculpting tools, it's time to get started on sculpting. I begin applying wet clay to the face cast, following the pattern I've drawn out for myself. At first, I just want to get the entire basic shape filled out. I don't need to worry too much about being neat. When I have the basic shape down, I move on to cleaning up the edges and building up the volume of the mask with more clay to give it a slight 3D slope rather than being completely flat. I use a metal sculpting tool to cut away uneven clay and clean up the edges of the mask. I then smooth out most of the surface of the mask with my fingers, but for the harder to reach spots, I use my silicone sculpting tools. They're great for rounding out the very edges of the sculpt where it meets the face cast and helping me get a nice smooth finish. With a mask as simple as this, my main concern is making sure it's symmetrical and as cleanly finished as possible. There's not any texture work involved other than making sure the mask is smooth. Here's the finished sculpt. When I'm happy with my sculpt, I begin preparing it for moulding. This is going to be a very simple 1-part mould. I start building a clay wall around the sculpt, leaving a gap of about 1 inch. You don't want the wall to be touching the sculpt. This clay wall is going to create the boundaries of where the plaster mould will finish. You want to make sure the clay wall is secure and that any edges are supported so that they don't collapse under the weight of the plaster when you pour it in. This wooden sculpting tool is great for joining the pieces of the clay wall together and smoothing them out. I also cut a few pieces of plaster bandage in preparation for making the mould. Plaster bandage can be used to strengthen a mould. Before I begin the process of moulding, I spray a generous amount of mould release into the sculpt and the clay wall. This will allow the finished mould to release from the face cast and sculpt. Then I mix up a thin batch of plaster for my first pouring. I pour it into the mould and use a disposable acid brush to brush it into all the crevices and details of the mask. I especially want to make sure I'm getting the sections on the side and underneath of the mask so that there aren't any gaps. I then mix up a batch of thicker plaster and pour that into the mould, filling it up almost all the way to the top. While the plaster is still wet, I wet the plaster bandages and place them into the poured plaster to help strengthen the mould. Finally, I pour one last batch of plaster into the mould over the top of the plaster bandages and smooth it all over. Now I just need to leave the plaster mould to set overnight. The next day I come back to my mould and pull away the clay wall around it. This clay is potentially reusable to make another clay wall, so I put it in a bucket, spray it with some water and leave cling film over it until I can put it in another bag. I then take a chisel and hammer and begin lightly tapping into the edges of the mould. Because this is quite a simple small mould, it comes loose fairly easily. With the chisel wedged partially into the mould, I begin to pry it away from the face cast. I can then pull the mould off easily enough and we have a mask mould almost ready to be used. Unfortunately, there was one small piece of this mould that did break off. This does happen sometimes and you don't need to panic. This is an extremely easy fix and I'll show you how to patch moulds that crack in this way. I simply place the broken piece back where it belongs and apply some clay to where the edges meet on the outside of the mould. I then cut small pieces of plaster bandage, wet them and apply them over where I've patched the two pieces together. Once the plaster bandages are dry, this will keep it held in place. I then begin cleaning out the mould. This mould came away pretty cleanly, but there are still some bits of clay left in there that need to be cleaned out. So I pick out what I can and then get a damp kitchen towel and wipe most of the rest of it away. Another good trick for pulling out residual bits of clay and dust is to paint a couple layers of latex into the mould, and when it's dry, simply pull the latex out and it will pull a lot of the residual gunk out with it. Now the mould is finished and ready to begin casting. Because I did have that little breakage, I apply some clay to the very thin crack that's left inside the mould and make sure to smooth it down to an even surface. If there are any other tiny blemishes in the mould, I do the same with them too. I then spray mould release into the mould. I take my liquid latex and some ultramarine blue paint. I pour latex into a plastic cup, add blue paint and mix them together until I'm happy with the colour. Remember that when the latex dries, the colour will dry darker. You don't have to do this, but I prefer to mix a base colour of paint into the latex so that the mask I pull out already has a base colour before I paint it. Using another disposable acid brush, I very carefully paint my latex mixture into the mould. I start with the thinner layer to make sure I'm following the outline as neatly as possible, before building up to thicker layers to bulk out the mask. You will need to add in several layers of latex to get to the thickness that you want. For these masks, I usually find about 4 or 5 layers works perfectly. I also use a hairdryer to speed up the drying process of each layer of latex so that I can cast more of them quickly. Once I've done my final layer, I leave it to dry until the latex is fully set. I can then pull the mask out of the mould very easily and we have a Miss Marvel mask, almost ready to wear. But first it needs to be cleaned off and finished. Using some water, I clean off the residual clay and dust from the mask. I use a small pair of scissors to trim the edges of the mask so that they're neat and even. And then finish the mask off with a layer of that same ultramarine blue paint. And that's a finished mask ready to be used the next time I wear my Miss Marvel cosplay. For the last section of this video, I'm going to show you how to safely adhere the mask to your skin and then remove it. To adhere latex to your skin, you will need some sort of skin-safe glue. I use Prozaid, which is longer lasting and much kinder to your skin than the alternatives like spirit gum. Prozaid will usually be sold with the required remover, which you will see me use later. Use a cotton bud to apply the Prozaid directly to your skin where the mask is going to sit. Be very careful to avoid getting Prozaid on your eyebrows and of course in your eyes. Then you also want to apply some to the back of the mask itself. Because this mask is light and is going to go over my eyebrows, I only apply the Prozaid to the very edges of the mask. Wait for the Prozaid to set, it will go from white to clear, and then begin to adhere the mask to your face. To ensure the mask is going to sit symmetrically, I place the mask onto the bridge of my nose, press it in so it's secure in the middle, and then work my way outwards, pressing the mask into my skin so that it adheres. And that's it, the mask is attached to your face and will stay there for the duration of an entire convention day, photo shoot, or whatever you're wearing the costume for. To remove the mask when you're done with it, you'll need Prozaid remover. Again, take a cotton bud, dip it into the Prozaid remover, and begin applying the remover to one edge of your mask. As the glue is removed, you'll be able to slip the cotton bud under the mask and gradually remove the entire thing. When enough of the glue is removed, you can easily pull the mask away. Apply some more Pros-Aid remover to a clean cotton bud and use it to remove any glue that is still stuck to your face. You can also use the Pros-Aid remover to remove residual glue on the back of the mask itself so that you can reuse the mask. I don't recommend reusing the masks more than a couple of times though, as residual glue and makeup will continue to build up and become more difficult to remove fully. And that's how to make a self-adhering superhero mask just like this one. If you decide to make your own mask based on this tutorial, I would love to see it. Tag me on Twitter or Instagram at EvilCleverDog. Be sure to subscribe so you see any future videos and hit the bell so you get notified when I upload. Please like and comment, and I will see you next time.